Okay, guys, let me talk to you. Where's that from? If you're a pro wrestling fan, you'll know this guy, LA Knight, has suddenly become a viral sensation. And all he does is say, let me talk to you, and then, yeah. I used to be a pro wrestling fan, actually, when I was a young kid. Thankfully, the last couple decades, I graduated to audiophile for my hobby and not pro wrestling. But this guy's become such a viral sensation. He was popping up in my feed, and he's actually pretty funny. So I want to give a shout out to LA Knight, because maybe I'll start watching again. He's pretty cool. Anyway, back to my current hobby, which is audiophile, and why I'm an audiophile junkie. This is going to be the epitome of it today, although this video is not shot by me. It's shot by Norman Varney of AV Room Service. And I was supposed to go with them after the Seattle audio show to this NWAA Labs, which is a one-of-one type facility for being able to test acoustics and loudspeakers. It's in an old nuclear power plant that's been retired. And so this facility is a very special place that only a few people have access to, and can do things that almost no other facility can. People have tried to recreate anechoic chambers and testing facilities, you know, in a reasonable space of their facility, but this is kind of the real deal. And this is what Norman uses to test a lot of his products, and that's why they're so well regarded and effective. And let me tell you, if you are interested in Norman's products, you can go to avroomservice.com. But also, if you want to join the membership group, we're going to be doing some group buys, and we get some discounts. So if you are interested in products, it may be worthwhile for you to join the membership group on top of the other benefits. But I did want to showcase this video today because, irregardless of his products or anything, you want to see this facility and what it takes to go that next level of high-end audiophile junkie level stuff, of understanding why things work and doing everything to the utmost potential to get that performance. And that requires testing. And this facility gives you that ability to get data that you really can't get anywhere else. So without further ado, let's join Norman on his tour of the NWAA Labs.
Should be coming up to, this is the Sassup part where the NWAA Labs is. I think right around this bend we'll be able to see the first cooling tower of the nuclear plant. Yeah, there it is. So we're almost there. There's the other one. All right, here we come into the Sassup Business Park. So the towers, they look big, but what's interesting is as you approach them, especially on foot, it just takes forever to get to them. They're it's hard to tell how big they are, but they're about 500 feet tall. Just to give you an idea, that's pretty massive. And again, this was never completed. It was never commissioned. And NWAA Lab is right up here to the left. We'll make a right to this tower here. It used to be that you could get in there, but now it's all corded off, and because of the fact that it's falling apart, it's not being maintained, and so pieces of concrete can fall and hit somebody, so they have it all fenced off. In fact, a while back when I was here, I tried to go in there with take somebody in there to experience what a weird sound, how weird it sounds, and right away security came and said nope. Again, it's so hard to tell how big this is. It's gigantic, but without anything for reference, I mean, there's some stairs. It's really hard to get an idea of it. It is to our right now. is. Ooh. We have arrived. So here we are at the entrance of NWAA Labs in Elma, Washington. We'll do a small little tour. Give you an idea of how thick the walls are in each of the interiors, separated by about 40 feet, is 5 feet of concrete wall with, I believe, 9 layers of 2-inch rebar. This facility has a ton of concrete. There are so many rooms in these acres it's just cavernous and easy to get lost. Over the years since I've come here, the signage has improved, some of the lighting has improved, and in fact, most of the areas have been corded off. Again, you know, check out, this is a 5-foot thick wall. There's the reactor room. Hopefully you can see that there's it's a giant round room. A couple of entrances up here. Very huge space. And the lab, NWAA Labs, is, I think it's a room inside of a room, inside of a room, inside of a room, inside of a room. And it is the reverberation chambers are the floor is floating, the wall is floating, and the ceiling is suspended. Well, a lot of these, it's very easy to get lost in here, and also very dangerous. The Special Forces have used this facility for practicing warfare, you know, and as I understand it, 2 or maybe 3 guys have died. I think 1 disappeared, and I think 2 fell into, there's a giant lake way below us. So we're at ground level here, and there is a lake that is 40 feet deep that is under us. And that is I think 80 feet, I think, below us is where it begins, and then it's another 40 feet deep. Should something happen to the reactor, then it would fall into the lake and cool. So again, all these directions, all the painted way is all pretty new. None of this was here. I've been here, I'm not sure how many times over the years. The place opened up in 2010 or 2011. And we'll go up to the next floor up. Here we go. Now this is the entrance to the send side, the send reverberation room, where the noise is generated from. There's again, like I say, there's just, you know, gigantic rooms everywhere. Lots of space that could be utilized for different things. This is on the way. This is where the control room for the nuclear reactor is, and now has been converted to the control room for the Acoustics Lab. Primarily the two largest reverberation chambers in the world, and also the quietest reverberation chambers in the world. And this is where I am doing my transmission loss test for our compound, our constrained layer compound, and where you would do noise absorption test, sound power, things like that with a reverberation chamber. And this is the entrance to NWAA.
Does it know that thing that I just found out?
Office space is back there.
I don't know. I told her.
Okay, so this is the control room where Ron does his stuff. This is all the equipment that fires it up. There's Ron himself,
Yeah,
Ron
right.
Soro. And this was the control room on the other side of this glass, right? Where the nuclear control room facility was. And so I'll show you a little bit around the shop area. Staging here. Things can be brought from the floors below down here. This used to be opened at one point when I was here, and it was super scary. You do not want to step through, or it's, I think, 80 feet down to concrete. This is the shop where wall assemblies like mine were built and then stored in here. They have to cure for 30 days. So all kinds of things can be built here. He also has he tests headphones inside this facility. Take a look. Yeah, it is open. Oh, that's right. It's a room inside of a room. Little headphone rig there. And then there's another back shop back here. Some table saws and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, the rooms just go on for miles. This floor, Ron had to build. He had to rip out what was here and then put this on top. And then you can see in the far distance the receive side reverberation chamber, which is where your product would be put if you're doing an absorption test, or simply on the other side of the opening if you're doing a wall assembly test like I was, an E90 transmission loss. I'm standing in NWAA Labs source room, reverberation chamber. This is there's one of two of the largest reverberation chambers in the world. This room is the source room, and the other largest chamber is on the other side of that opening, which is closed right now, which is the receive side. So this send side, I'm gonna flip the camera over. That's the entrance to it. This is the low frequency driver. These are the mid-range drivers. And way up there are the high frequency drivers. And so there's a bunch of them, as you can see. And there's some absorbers in here. The reverberation time in this chamber, as it stands right now, is about 18 seconds, I believe. And without these absorbers, it's about 28 seconds. I can stand back a little bit so you can see the whole room. It's like impossible to get the whole room. That's too big. I'll give you an idea. And this is the opening where you would put door assemblies and, you know, partitions, window assemblies, and so forth. What?
Those are only mid-high. Those are only mid-high. Low frequency, not low.
Okay. This is inside of the quietest reverberation chamber in the world. These two send and receive reverberation chambers are the largest in the world. This is the other side of the entrance. These 16-foot doors. Humidifier. Microphones hanging from the ceiling. Long reverberation times. Decahedron speaker up there. Hey! Sounds pretty neat. Hello! It's really hard to get an idea of scale here, but the ceiling is 80 feet tall, and that arc is 28 feet tall, and there is a Earthworks calibrated microphone every 5 degrees. There's a speaker on top. These wedges down below are 5 feet tall. The turnstile in the middle is precise to 1/10 of a degree in rotation, and you can get a full-blown balloon plot for speakers and or diffusers. And again, to give you an idea of scale, it's so hard to tell that 4 football fields fit inside of what you're looking at right here. It goes way back there. And we've got, let's see, we are 3 floors above. And so I'm gonna walk down here a little ways and give you an idea. This is where the turbines were. In fact, right over here, I'm gonna get up on that guy, or have somebody get up on that and take a picture of me by the wedges just for scale. So you can get an idea. This goes way, way down. This railing here didn't used to be here. There we go, and get a better idea. And there's still plenty of trip hazards around. Down here, at one point, they were doing an acoustical test on a semi, and they were, I don't remember exactly what Ron said they were testing, but they wanted to get, I think it was sound intensity around the rig. And so they needed to suspend a semi in the air. And so they used this area over here to do that. They had a guy drive a semi in, and then they, these giant cranes up here will hold, I forget how many tons, then lifted the semi. Don't want to drop my phone. That's way down there. So lifted him up and took the test, dropped him back down, and he backed out. So I'm, I guess, about halfway through, and you can see these giant giant cranes, and there's several in the facility. There's other rooms that have these as well, and there's also many gigantic water tanks that could be utilized for testing water infiltration and or areas where you could do blasting. This place could really become a one-stop shop as far as testing of windows and doors and other acoustic materials as well. You could do, you know, aquatic blasting, acoustic. Heck, I mean, you could do fire. There's just so much facility here. This is the control room that didn't used to exist, and gosh, in the wintertime it would be cold. So now this is a contained room and where you perform your tests from. Nice and comfy.
Building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is from inside the control room, and just a perfect perspective. So nice. Okay, I'm heading out for the day, and I can see that the lights are coming on for me. The place can be pretty creepy, and there's weird noises, and they're very reverberant. And so anyway, I know in the past I've been sneaking around, crawling around, and in the dark and these spacious areas where you can't see very well, and you could probably go freak yourself out if you allowed yourself to. So I'm not sure. I guess maybe I'm not moving fast enough. There we go. So here's that big spot, big opening for the reactor room. One of two. And the other one's right up there. And there's my exit. So that's it. Tour of the facility. This is a more reverberant room, as you can hear. And you'll hear the change of my voice as we enter the outside, and it becomes no longer reverberant. There it is, and the tower again.